Hey everyone, stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here, let the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications for when we go live, tap the bell. We go live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before market open. If you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the description to our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook. If you're here right now, say what up, say how you doing, what's going on. S&Ps are up 55, Dow's S&Ps are down 55. What's in this coffee, man? Dow's down 513, Nasdaq down 91, which I kind of wish they had this day on Friday, but here we are. Here we are. What's going on, Micah, Jeff, Guy, Keith, Christopher, Lion, Blue, Kelly? How we doing? If you guys could do me the favor, hit the like button. I know a lot of you already have, so I appreciate it. Almost did a double take. I was like, it was I want to say it was a long weekend. For most of you guys know that we launched the impact report and all that this weekend, which took us 5 months to make, and it's just we did a lot of work to push that out, and it's not even like perfect yet. It's not even where I want it to be. It's launchable, but it's not exactly what I envisioned yet. So we're gonna get there. But that's the thing. You gotta kind of stage it in pieces. Nothing you ever do is gonna be perfect. You just have to get it to where you're at, and then keep making it better as you go on. You know what I mean? But right now, markets are reacting. So we have kind of a busy week on deck right now. The first thing that the market is reacting to right now, Hank, it's at usversusherd.com. I'll pull it up right now. You can just go right to our website on here, usversusherd.com. Click on the impact report. But oil is down quite a bit today, and they're saying they're running out of storage. Basically, we have so much oil that we have no place to put it. So that's why. And I don't know what they're thinking here, what they're thinking of doing, because you can't just get rid of it. Like you guys know, like when I don't know about last couple weeks ago, like milk, they're doing the same thing for potatoes. Like milk, they're flushing like hundreds of millions of gallons of milk just down the drain because they have way too much. There's an oversupply. Potatoes, there's an oversupply, so they're giving all these potatoes away. Like, what is going on here? But oil, you can't like flush down the drain. You can't like, what do you do with it? What are you gonna do with oil? Like, you're gonna burn it, which is gonna be terrible. Like, Chris, Hafiz, what do you think about the fact that you can get 10-cent same day SPY options to have skin the game? I mean, if you want to lose money, sure. I mean, I generally don't buy far out of the money options, just in general. And even like same day expiration, your risk. I mean, sure, you can have a big payout, but your risk to going to zero is greatly increased. And if you want to take that risk on, try it out for yourself. See what it's like. What's going on, Carl? J Cam, Carmine? They have tankers just floating in the ocean holding oil. Yeah, like what are we supposed to do with it? They're not. Hopefully, they don't just like try to start a war or anything crazy like that. But yeah, I mean, let me see if I can pull it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's in Wisconsin. It's in Wisconsin. Wisconsin dairy farmers told to dump milk because of an oversupply in the market. So they dumped 25,000 to 30,000 gallons, but this was just like this one farm. So this is happening all over the country, which is kind of interesting to me because a couple weeks ago, maybe just the suppliers can't get to the customers, because I try to buy milk for my kids. I'm limited to buying one still from Costco, and one is like a gallon and a half. I mean, I am stocked up on it, but they're limiting like how much milk you can buy. It's just like crazy. Also, like potatoes, I was recently, like last week, was able to get potatoes here. Yo, Rob, what's going on, man? Daniel, it's not really an oversupply. It's just because they can't switch to full retail. Being bulk demand is almost none. Yeah, but I think they're limiting how much milk you can buy when there's probably no need to. I've worked mid, down, and upstream oil. I've been saying we need more refineries in America. They've been trying to do that, but people like the environmentalists and people aren't feeling it. You know, yo, Dut, what's going on? If you're just joining, say what up. If you're just joining, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Before we get into the market, the one good thing that happened today. So Shake Shack. Now this is kind of interesting. So if you guys don't own a business, I own other businesses, and we've applied for the PPP loan. Obviously, getting rejected or saying they don't have any money, like every small business out there right now. However, big businesses like Shake Shack, other businesses, I know Harvard got a $9 million loan. Shake Shack got a $10 million loan. Now, Shake Shack, because the money ran out, actually did the right thing, and they returned the $10 million government loan, which I think is probably the best marketing right now you could pay. You know, they're going to get this $10 million back like threefold because they did the right thing. So, you know, I think that because they honored, you know, they didn't need, well, maybe they need the 10 million, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to get this back. They're saying, you know, the entire 10 million SBA loan was returned last week. Last week it raised about 150 million in an equity offering. So they've also raised 150 million, you know, through their stock, and they didn't need the extra 10 million, which is good, so that they can give it back. Of the 342 billion small businesses bailout fund, the combined industry was allocated 18% of the total. So, you know, and right now Congress is looking to replenish that fund, but millions and millions and millions, especially all the business owners that I know that apply for it also didn't get it. So like, we're not the only ones, but you know, Shaq calls. I might order a Shaq burger for lunch here. Unfortunately, when it comes to like DoorDash, it's not as good as when you eat it there, but we need people to support local farmers. I agree with you. In Ohio, it's illegal to limit milk. Well, Illinois here, they limit everything. We can't buy anything. And there's probably no reason. There's probably such an oversupply right now because they limited how much you could buy, and I get that, you know. But now that the initial panic is over. Yo, Andrew, glad to see you here, man. It's been a while. Now that the initial panic is done, you know, I think they should release those limits. Like, there's no reason to limit milk, but Shake Shack returned their 10 million. Now this week we have a pretty crazy earnings week. You know, starting today, we're gonna have IBM, other heavy hitters, Netflix, Snapchat, Delta, AT&T, Lam, Intel. So we got some pretty big. I'm not too excited about Coke, but IBM is after the close today. And IBM, I mean, they're probably doing okay. You know, they're a little red on the year, but they're not doing so bad. I mean, they're down 20 points here from where they started the year. So nothing crazy. It did dip down to 90. You know, I think that for me to sell a premium in here, it's looking a little cheap. I mean, it is expecting an $8 move, so maybe I can get away with something. But right now, I feel like there's not enough juice to squeeze in here. But I might try something later today, depending on how IBM is moving. I am gonna try to get in position for Snapchat. So Snap, I'm going to try. Snap's down to, it's too bad. Snap's down to like 1277 right now. Snap, I am looking to go short as advertising gets cut hard. I'm going to be trying to short stocks that rely heavily on advertising, like I said last night. LRCX when earnings. So LRCX is Wednesday after the close right here. LRCX right here. You know, a fifth of the S&P 500 companies are expected to report earnings. First quarter earnings are expected to be down 14.5%. A 27.3% decline is expected in the second quarter. So the thing is here, if everybody knows that it's going to be down, you think like, do you guys think that the earnings are going to be priced in, or what do you guys think? What's your opinion? If everyone knows earnings are going to be bad, oh, it's a bit blurry. Sorry about that. I am streaming in 1080p, so if you want to adjust your settings, if you're not in 1080p, make sure you adjust the video to 1080p. I am streaming in 1080p. I was gonna try to switch to 4K, but they don't let you stream low latency in 4K. So, well, I'm in ultra low latency, so I can interact with you guys in more of a real time fashion. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the earnings are going to be priced in because they're already expecting bad earnings, or do you think that we got a ways to go down? Snapchat. I mean, I think Snap's going to come down to like 11 or 10. So I might try to sell some sort of credit spread on that. Try to take some credit for the calls. The IV's at 190% for this week. IV for next week 140%. So I know Snap is kind of a cheap stock, but I feel like the trade idea and the pricing, the IV is where it needs to be. Snap the 10. You think SPY going to go under 280 today? Do you agree that this is the first time the market stayed red, but wait about? I mean, it actually tried to push green last night. S&Ps, let's look at SPY too. S&Ps, you know, they gapped down, they pushed back up to green, dropped again. They tried again here. They triple tapped, and this is Friday too, where it tapped out on Friday. You know, it hit the wall again. I think a lot of people were thinking is if it keeps pounding at the door, it's going to bust through. And then this final rejection last night, which brought us down to like the 2,800, and we're at 281 on SPY. You know, it's pretty. If you're looking here, you know, it's just coming right down to like this consolidation a little bit. If it comes down to 278, I think like 278. 277 is going to be the real test for SPY if we could break that. You know, I don't think there's really great support here at 280. I mean, it could bounce here. It has bounced in the past around 280, but I feel like it's better off down here like 275, 278 area. So anywhere between 275, 278 would be my target, but you know, I guess we got to wait and see what the price action. Earnings is going to be messing a lot with the pricing this week. So be mindful that the price of SPY right now might not even actually matter once some of these companies start reporting. You know, the coronavirus news, if you haven't noticed, has really came down. Even though New York, their deaths are decreasing. I mean, they're still experiencing like 500 deaths a day, which is still pretty bad, you know, if you think about it. But I think we need to see what earnings. I might not trade. Maybe I'll trade SPY this week. I don't know. I'm gonna see how these earnings are gonna go. You know, for me, I'm gonna play it small. I wanna trade things that I'm more certain of rather than guessing. So I'm probably gonna go more into Snap. Netflix is running right now. Netflix, I think earnings are probably going to be priced in as well. So maybe try to sell some premium there. But I think Netflix is going to be a wild one. So we need to be real careful with it. It's kind of what I think. I mean, Netflix. I mean, it ran huge. So even if it drops back down to like the 380 area, I mean, it's expecting a $51 move this week for Netflix. So plus or minus. So it's saying, hey, this is either going to go up. What is that right now? 435. So this is either going to go up to like 480, or it's going to come down to 380. So either 480 or 380. So I think that selling puts down here like the 380, some sort of spread might be good, but it's kind of risky. So it's kind of risky. IBM earnings. So IBM earnings are after market close today. After market close today. What do I think about Carl? What do I think about Visa? Kevin's got, yo, what's going on, Kevin? What's going on, man? What's the reason with shorting companies that rely on ads? Okay, so advertising. Let me see if I can pull some up here. I know some people were. Let's go Facebook. Okay, so come on. Okay, I don't have the exact reports here, but I can look these up and find them. Basically, okay, so this is not the best report, but this is all I can pull up in the first 5 seconds of looking at this, so you guys don't get bored of me. But basically, and then companies like Google that rely on advertising, YouTube, you know, firsthand experience. I'll tell you right now, YouTube revenue for me is down 70%. So we're down 70% on the YouTube channel within the last 28 days, last 30 days, down 70%. And I've talked to many YouTubers, and you can go look it up. We did talk about this, where advertising Q2 fell off hard. Now, you know, the reason for this, the global spread of coronavirus has meant that companies are wary of spending cash online. They're trying to save the cash for core expenses only. So people are like, hey, if more people are on Facebook, if more people are on YouTube, wouldn't advertisers want to like take advantage of that? Normally, yes, but we're not in normal times. Right now, we're in a crisis where these companies need to hoard the cash that they have, take a look at their expenses. What's the easiest thing that you don't have to spend money on to survive is advertising. You don't need advertising. So that is the reason why I'm going short anything that relies heavily on advertising. You know, and if you think about especially like the travel sector advertises a lot. They also announced that they're not even going to spend like even $1 billion this year on advertising. Look it up. I don't have the article right now, but that is what they said. They're not even going to spend $1 billion this year on advertising. Advertising in general is going to take a huge hit through 2020. So that is why they're not spending. Companies aren't spending money on advertising. They're spending money on staying alive, basically. Basically, you know. So Visa. So yeah, Visa. I am interested in Visa. Probably going to try to day trade this. Does look like it's coming down a little bit. If it can break the 164 area, we could revisit the 160 area, but that's for a day trade. It is still downtrending here, so it appears that, I mean, it had some pretty crazy price action on Friday, which was kind of scary if you shorted it. Yes, it dropped like a rock, but then it came roaring back, which you thought like, hey, it's probably going to gap up on Monday. Let's exit our short positions, but no, it's gapping down. It's gapping down about $2.50 right now. So Boeing same. Boeing's dropping a little bit too. Had a pretty choppy Friday. Is back up. Is back down to 147. So this is it's down about $7 right now. Any important news data? So right now, anything that we have scheduled, we don't have really any important. We don't really have any important. We have the Chicago Fed national activity. Tomorrow is going to be existing home sales, so I'm actually going to be looking for a trade in HD. Probably going for tomorrow. HD, going to try to swing trade. HD's been ramping up pretty good, but the home reports have been bad so far. So I'm going to try to potentially short HD for this week or next week and see if I can play that report a little bit on the existing home sales. You know, and obviously Thursday we're going to have the weekly jobless claims, market manufacturing PMI. So, It seems to me that the weekly jobless claims just don't really seem to really matter all that much. Which is kind of crazy. You would think like 22 million unemployment, an additional 5 million every week, and in unemployment we'd actually care, but apparently the market doesn't care. So if the market doesn't care, I'm not saying that we shouldn't care, but we can't base our trades on this weekly jobless claim, because if we do, we're going to get in trouble if we keep shorting the reports. And sure, maybe this week's the one week that it drops. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Who knows? But as of right now, we've basically gone through 4 terrible weekly jobless claims in a row, and each Thursday the market has been green. So you want to be careful. Also, new home sales are on Thursday as well, so I'm going to be looking to short some Home Depot, maybe the 200 strike. That's what I'm going to be looking at. So we'll see if we'll get the opportunity to do that. Right now the market's kind of leveling off. We have S&P's at 2018, SPY is at 282, trying to push it up. So we'll see what happens. I'm guessing that there's going to be a push up at open and maybe a gradual sell-off, or maybe more of a flat day. What do you guys think? What kind of day do you think we're going to have? We're going to have is it going to be kind of a flat, boring day after we have this gap down as we await for earnings? Are we going to be violently moving down? I mean, what's the plan? What do you guys think? I wonder if it's too late to get Netflix calls. Well, the market doesn't think so. As I said, the market on Netflix is pricing in a $50 move plus or minus $50 move. So from here, 435, they're still pricing in a $50 move. Rob thinks we're going up from here. 200, you bet on Hank HD? Yeah, Hank, it's HD. I mean, the reason why it's going up, I believe, is because it's one retailer that is open. They're thinking people are going to be doing home projects as they're sitting home, and I definitely agree with that. But that's what's happening right now. What we're looking at is the future, and the future is not looking good for home sales, homeowners, stuff like that, especially now that the banks are locking down loans requiring a minimum of 20% down, also credit factors. It's going to be harder for people to buy homes. Now, maybe those people shouldn't have bought homes in the first place. Maybe it's a good thing. Who knows? But what tightening of credit is going to mean there's going to be less sales overall. So if you guys are just joining, say what up, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Market's about to open in 7 minutes. I'm kind of just ranting here a little bit. Shop is where it's at. Alex, the thing about Shop is it's just kind of illiquid. I've been trying to get into it a little bit. I used to trade Shop when it was like in the 80s and 90s, and then when Shop broke out to, basically to 300, I'm like, what in the world? How do you? It's kind of like a Tesla. I guess what you got to do for stocks like Tesla and Shop is to be able to trade it. And I think this is where I have the problem, is you basically have to close your eyes and blindly buy calls or blindly short, depending on the momentum of that day. And I get that. Maybe that's profitable. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I will. But for me, I'm trying, guys, to get over more of the fundamentals, because fundamentals, technical analysis doesn't really matter in this day and age, apparently. So we have to kind of move with the trend. We have to stick with the trend. If you go against the trend, you're going to get hammered, and I've experienced it. Shorting on the way up here hasn't been a great experience. The way that I've been getting out is while I'm holding overnight short swinging positions, I am day trading calls to kind of, but what's the point of that? You know what I mean? So I've been trying to reduce the amount of bias for what I think the future holds, because I think that the market is overly optimistic, and I'm afraid that eventually it's going to kind of settle in. But you don't know what with options. Like if you're holding stock, it doesn't really matter. If you're shorting stock, as long as you can cover margin, you're good. All that. But for options, it's extremely important to get the timing right, because if you don't have the timing right, your contract expires, you lose your money. So that's kind of why options is one of the hardest things that you could do. Learning to trade options, trading options, and people get discouraged. Like, oh, this is so hard. It's so hard because it's freaking hard. It's hard, guys. It's hard. So, Hank Hey man, I love the videos and like the video. I also just joined the Discord. I'm doing an online class on Zoom right now, but thoughts on DocuSign? Yeah, let's look at DocuSign is probably doing okay. You know, DocuSign, you know, since everything went digital, for the first time ever, I signed a DocuSign with the state of Illinois, which was incredible, so easy. You know, I'm bullish DocuSign. If it can pull back down to like the 95, 90 area, would be nice. Where are we at now? We're still at 100. But yeah, I'm bullish. I'm bullish DocuSign. Their signups are probably going through the roof. HD lines at the door. Yeah, because they limit the amount of people that can go in. Like all these stores, they're actually talking about limiting the amount of people that can go inside a grocery store right now. Just going through these comments here. Yo, Gino, what's going on? William. AMD. So AMD is an interesting one, Joe. AMD is definitely interesting. It's kind of flat right now after hours. Oh man, SPY's pushing up. S&P's pushing up pretty good right now. But I don't know. I'm bullish on AMD, but I also am wary that it might not break here. You get what I'm saying? I'm kind of right now. I'm in a holding pattern to see, are we gonna break? Are we gonna break up here? Are we gonna break this up here? That is the question. That is what I want to know. Is, are we going to push above 60? Izzy, options contracts, trading options. This channel is called Options Trading Live. What are your thoughts about CMG? I think it's a good short opportunity. So I think CMG, I'm short CMG mainly because it had this massive run, and I definitely think they're gonna miss targets. I think it's gonna come back down to like the 700, 650 area. I know I'm saying that's going to be a 100-point drop, but I definitely think that it's going to. I don't think it's going to be pushing all-time highs on this report. I don't think it's going to be pushing 900. Now the mark option pricing is pricing in an $83 move. I think it's definitely going to move $80 to $100, but I'm leaning towards the downside. If you're trading Chipotle though, be extremely careful. If you don't know how to trade it, don't. If you're a new trader, don't. If you're looking to trade your first options trade, don't. If you're an experienced trader that knows how to trade spreads, then fine. Like I would never buy a naked call or put on here, but I will buy spreads on Chipotle. Yo, Christine. Thanks for that. Hit the like button, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, Izzy's joking. I got rid of my bias last week and it did really well. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of where we're at right now, Daniel. Like it's tough, but that's just where we're at. Lulu. All right, market opens in 1 minute. Let's look at Lulu quick. Lululemon. I mean, this is just like, I don't know. I didn't think these would be doing that well, but it really after it broke out at 200, it just nothing can stop it. But I wonder if the market starts to sell off again, what's going to happen to Lululemon. But I think that all retailers are struggling, but Lululemon's not struggling. I mean, we got through their earnings on March 26th, so they did come in lower, which they sold off a little bit, but then they've recovered. So I don't know. All their stores are closed right now. I don't see how it could be good, but obviously the price is telling you something different, you know? All right, market is open. We are open for business. See if we can. All right, so we have S&P's down 50, Dow's down 508, Nasdaq is down 70. Okay. Ooh, Peloton's coming up. I think I'm gonna sell this bad boy. So kind of show you. Let me get out of this trade first because Peloton's hitting my targets, baby. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get out of this trade. It's probably got more to give, but let's not be greedy, you know. Let's not. All right. Peloton, we got out. No, NASDAQ is down 64. Peloton, this is what I'm talking about. All right, Peloton, I made 160 bucks. I had the 37 put on Peloton. I've been patient too. They try to squeeze me. I'm gonna be looking for more trades in here though, if it can bounce up. But why did I do that? Oh. Okay, Peloton. I placed this trade on. Actually, I wasn't actually had to hold that long. Thought I was gonna actually have to hold longer. So I bought the May 15th 37 put for 520. Just sold it for 680. And kind of to walk you through this trade real quick here, Peloton. You know, it tried to squeeze me out. I bought a put on this day right on here when it was moving up to 35, 36 area. And then the next day it tried to squeeze me out, but I stayed true. I stayed true to the course. You know, I thought it was going to double top. And the reason why I stayed true is because this candle right here closed underneath this high here. So I was playing the double top here. Sure, it could push up, but Peloton has sold off the last 2 days. And this is where I just closed it out. So I wanted to get out of that trade and see if, because Peloton, if this could rip back up to 35, I'm gonna look to short some more. You know, that's kind of what I'm looking at. So made about 30% on it. Not a huge gainer, but it was extremely safe. Stayed in the money put, had a higher delta. You know. I'm gonna see if Peloton can get a little bounce up here to 35. We can get back up to 35, which I don't think is gonna happen. But if we can get Peloton up to 35, I would like to look to short that again. But that's a good way to start the Monday. Yeah, Peloton, Daniel, you have to give it time. I've played it a couple times in the past. I've been shorting it. You just have to be very patient because if you look at the chart here, I mean, there's a lot of two-sided action here, so it's gonna try to squeeze you out. Anytime I trade Peloton, I know that there's a fact that they're going to try to squeeze me out, and that's exactly what they did. I put the position on this huge green candle here. They then had another huge green candle, and they were trying to shake out the shorts, including myself. They just couldn't do it, didn't have enough juice, and they closed underneath the 52-week high here. I mean, it pushed the 52-week high, but it closed underneath the prior 52-week high, and has come down to like the 31 area, which we just closed it out. It hit a low of like 3170, 3160 this morning. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, I mean, decent morning. I am short Goldman Sachs as well for next week expiration. I have the 170 put. We'll see. I get some money back on that, but I don't know what's going to happen with Goldman Sachs here. I need Goldman Sachs to drop down to 170 area, which I definitely think it will. If it can top out here at 180, I definitely think that Goldman Sachs is going to be seeing the 170 range by next week. I'm pretty much just playing this chart here. You know, had a nice rejection here at like the 184 area, is now bouncing down. So I definitely think, you know, Goldman Sachs has been a tricky one because if you look at the other banks like JP Morgan, it came back down to here. This area was my target, and I smashed that target on JP Morgan. Bank of America, same thing. When it ripped up here, this is when we had earnings. It came back down to here. That's my target. But if you look at Goldman Sachs chart, Goldman Sachs is the only bank stock to buck the trend. It didn't come back down to where consolidation was. It's been holding up in here, so it's been stubborn. So probably shouldn't have tried to short it again, but I did make money on selling premium on earnings. Selling premium on earnings. So I took those earnings and I took that profit and I put it into a trade because I think that Goldman Sachs has a little bit more to give here, but it's just not cooperating right now. Gold is flat. So we got oil's down pretty big. USO down, hit 365. Wow. Crazy. So if you're trading USO, you're going to want to do something really long term. Buying the dip is not working. I mean, it did go from 4 to 6, but that was very short lived. That only lasted 2 days, and then it's faded that entire move down. So we need to be careful. Let's see, Amazon right now is up 52 points. We're almost at 24.50 again. So we'll see. Is this going to get a pop and fade today, or is this really popping here? Let's see, IBM. Let's look at IBM real quick. IBM is holding true. It's just kind of it's down $1.30. Hasn't really moved since open. Coke also is a little bit flat. It's down 50 cents. At opens, it's bounced back up. It went for 47.25, and now it's back up to 47.50. Let's see, premium is rather cheap right now. So in Coke, so I don't think I'm going to be trading Coke for earnings. I don't know how to price Coke right now in this. I mean, I'm guessing they're going to take a hit because all the restaurants and hotels are closed. But that's just a guess. Not financial advice. Just a guess. But I'm guessing it's going to go down. Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is ramping up pretty good right now. It's up $16. When I buy puts, I always buy them in the money? What do I pick? I mean, it depends on the trade, your goals of your trade. I tend to buy at the money or in the money like I did for Peloton, mainly just because it's safer. And if you have to hold on for a longer period of time, theta is not going to impact you as much as being out of the money. Like on Netflix, now if you can't afford it, I get it, but maybe you shouldn't trade it then. Like if you can't afford an in the money or at the money put on Netflix, maybe you shouldn't trade it. Maybe, and what a lot of people do is, I mean, they can make money this way, sure. You know, but they'll start trading like the 340s down here for $1, 350s, and sure, before earnings, it's relatively safe. You can do that, but it's very low delta, very low reward. I mean, these could be 100% gainer. Sure, I see people do it in our Discord all the time. It's just not my trading style. It's not something that I like to do. I don't like to buy stocks with a 6 delta or options with a 6 delta, 7 delta, 10 delta. You know, I try to go for the higher delta, and I get it's hard for a lot of people that don't have that kind of account. So, Carl, I do have a Patreon. However, I am shutting it down, and I'm concentrating more on the services that I can create a value for. Patreon, I haven't figured out how to deliver value through there. So that's why I launched the Impact Report last week. So Impact Report, it is a service. It's not for everybody, but people that want to have a little bit more information, we launched the Impact Report so I could deliver. I just don't like taking money from people. I want to deliver you something of value. So Patreon, I had a hard time delivering value to people because I never was able to give them something above and beyond. But with the Impact Report and other things that we're doing out here, we're rolling out a bunch of things to create more value for you. So if you want to subscribe to it, it definitely supports what I do here. If not, I get it. But basically, you know, the Impact Report is basically curated news and events to kind of better outline. I mean, I use it right in here to pretty much go through my entire trading week. I've been using it for the past 5 months. And the one thing that I wanted to create value is the options trade ideas. Every week or a couple times a week, I'm going to have unique options trade ideas that expose you to different trading strategies and maybe get you thinking things a little differently. Whether you take the trade on or not, it will expose you to different strategies that you're not used to. And also doing like a monthly live Q&A where I can engage with those people directly, especially beginners who have more questions, because I know that these live streams are a little bit difficult for beginners, because I get a lot of messages saying, hey, I tried to tune into your live stream, but I don't know anything that's going on because you talk at a much higher level. So this is what this is here. So I'm just trying to provide a little bit something for people at different skill levels. Like the live streams and the videos are for people that are knowledgeable options. So I'm trying to kind of have a mixture there. For the people that aren't knowledgeable about options, we have something for them as well. So, you know, that's kind of what I want to do is like, if someone wants to give me money, I want to give it back to you twice as much. I want to give you some sort of value, and that's my plan with what we're doing moving forward, you know. But, you know, I appreciate you guys for being here, being on the live stream, hitting the like button. I mean, just because we have a pay for service now, YouTube's not going to change, Discord's not going to change. Everything's going to be the way it was, free. We're just, for the people that need additional resources, we're just trying to provide that for them is all that we're trying to do, you know. All right, so we have let's see what SPY is doing right now. So SPY's pushing up to 283. So it looks like Rob is getting out on that trade. You got the 282 call, he said. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if we moved up at all, you know. I would not be surprised at all if we moved up. Like if we try to push like 285 area on the SPY and then got rejected, I definitely could see that, but it's not moving very quick this morning. Boeing's also trying to rip up a little bit. It opened up around 147s at 150 almost, so you know, it's definitely all right. Here's that fade. We're looking at Visa. So if we can get Visa to break this 165 area, 166. So I'm looking for it to break the 165 area to kind of fade this pop here. You know, it had a crazy pop from 159 to 170, and then try to close back up to 170 on Friday, and now we're just under that. So I'm going to be looking. Visa's been a great stock to day trade. You know, IV is relatively low. You can get high delta. You can get 45 delta for 355. You can get a 40 delta for you know, $200, which is like, if it moves $1 on $200, you're already up 20%. You know, that's good risk to reward ratio right there. AMC is on the border of bankruptcy. Yeah, AMC's done. Neiman Marcus is also filing bankruptcy, so pay attention for stocks like JWN, other stocks like Macy's. You know, Macy's are going to react. Not that they weren't doing poor already, but Nordstrom's was doing the best out of all of them. They're still doing relatively well, but we're still here at the low, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, you know. Kind of take it slow, but you know, that's kind of the game plan for this week ahead. So, you know, I'm gonna be posting more videos. I will be live tomorrow morning. I'm going to take off. I will be in the Discord, so if you haven't joined our Discord, it is free. Link is below. We chat it up pretty much all day long. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.